Hey everyone, I'm Pam, and I just wanted to have a quick little chat about the latest news from Xbox. So on January 18th, a little less than a week ago, it was announced that Xbox was buying Activision Blizzard. This news came out in the morning, I believe around 8:30 a.m. I woke up, picked up my phone, looked at Twitter. I saw the tweet like a minute after it went out and went, holy shit, like that's a huge, huge deal. And then for the next day, that was my entire Twitter field. Just other people having basically the same reaction to this news that I had. This was completely unexpected. Not that I know a lot about the business goings-ons of various acquisitions, but this news definitely did take me by surprise. Activision Blizzard is a huge company, and this deal is going for $69 billion, which makes it an incredibly big acquisition. As part of the announcement, it was said that they will be putting as many games as possible that they're acquiring onto GamePass. This includes some huge franchises just in the deal, not necessarily going onto GamePass, but World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty is one of the biggest ones. There's also a whole bunch of esports stuff that Activision Blizzard runs. Now, I'm not actually that business-minded, so take everything I'm saying here with a grain of salt, but in general, monopolies are bad. I don't think Microsoft currently has one, but they have been snatching up studios left and right. They own, dozens of them by now, especially after all the acquisitions with Bethesda and ZeniMax over the last few years. And right now, if you include this purchase, they will be the third largest gaming company behind Tencent and Sony. And Tencent has also been snatching up studios left and right. So the number of big game companies that are out there is definitely shrinking. This definitely raises some concerns about competition because if any one company owns too big of a piece of a pie, it will sort of give them free rein to do what they like. And while on the positive side of this, it can mean that we get a whole bunch of great new games to play, on the negative side, a corporation is made to make money, to make its shareholders money, even more than it is to make great art, so that will always be the number one goal. Aside from owning a bigger market share of the games in general, they will also have, they being Microsoft, have a bigger avenue to collect data from its players. Microsoft is not just Xbox, it's not just PC. They've been moving very much into cloud-based gaming as well as cloud-based everything for all of their business applications and things. And with the acquisition of Activision, they will also now own Candy Crush, giving them a big foothold in the mobile market as well. And these will all just be new avenues for them to collect data from many people in many ways. This also brings up the topic of all of the issues that Activision has been having over the last little while. A big report came out from the state of California detailing how much sexual harassment and general bad behavior had been going on at Activision Blizzard. And they've done some things to work it out. Some people have been fired, but really not a whole lot has been done. The CEO, Bobby Kotick, is still there despite many calls for him to step down because he apparently knew about all this stuff that was happening below him. For now, until the deal is finalized, Bobby Kotick will still be functioning as CEO, but I greatly hope that he will be gone once all this is done, and that Microsoft will be able to clean house in a way. I have hope that this will improve the lives of the workers over at Activision Blizzard, but I also don't have a ton of confidence that one monolith corporation that has its own issues will be able to fix another one. I don't know if the issues will be compounded. I hope things will be made better. I also hope that this won't make the efforts for workers to unionize over at Blizzard. I hope it doesn't throw a wrench into that because that is a possibility. I hope they go forward with unionizing and are allowed to do that because, again, I don't have a lot of confidence that Microsoft will be able to just go in and fix everything with a magic wand, so I hope the workers have protection in other ways. Now, let's take off our capitalism sucks hat, although it never really goes away, and look at what the possible benefits could be as a gamer. I do have hopes for the future. As I mentioned, Microsoft has mentioned that they want to put as many titles as possible onto GamePass, and I think that would be great. You know, I'm a huge fan of GamePass. I have been accused of shilling for them. I just think they're a really good deal. I honestly can't see Game Pass staying at its current price for very much longer. Honestly, for the price it is, it's much cheaper than the 4 different TV streaming services I subscribe to, and I get a lot more enjoyment from it. And I think the price is going to come up. It's got hundreds of games on there, and I wouldn't blame them if they increase the price a little bit. That might be coming in the future. Some things people have brought up, like, will World of Warcraft come to Xbox? Honestly, I don't care. I would hate to play World of Warcraft on console with a gamepad, but if you think that would be fun, maybe it'll work. Hearthstone on Xbox. That one does make sense, though. It could definitely use a port to consoles. I don't think they will make too many of the biggest franchises console exclusive. I think some things will definitely be made exclusive, but the big ones, specifically Call of Duty, the thing that, sort of gets a yearly release, I think it would be silly to leave that $60 a year new purchase off the table by not letting people who only have PlayStations access to it. But I'm also thinking, like, what if you could use Call of Duty as a bargaining chip? Be like, oh, hey, Sony, if you want Call of Duty on your system, you need to let us port Bloodborne and God of War. I don't know if that's how things work. I just think that would be cool. One thing that I do like about Microsoft, despite the fact that I think they're becoming too large, is that they do seem to still be willing to fund the smaller projects. I think partially because of the Game Pass model, they're funding things like Psychonauts 2, which aren't going to be huge sellers that everyone's going to play. They're sort of more niche games, but they still seem willing to make those, which I'm really happy about. Some studios, whether it's other entertainment or gaming, they really only want to sell make the things that are going to sell 1 billion copies. So I hope that Microsoft continues that and that they revive some franchises that have basically been ignored by Activision Blizzard. There's things like Guitar Hero. I could definitely see that making a comeback. The Tony Hawk games, even Warcraft, the RTS as opposed to the MMO. That would be a cool thing to have. But of course, if you know me at all, you know that what I'm most intrigued about is the possibility of reviving some Sierra series. Sierra were one of the big dogs in the point-and-click adventure, graphical adventure game. They have so many classic series like King's Quest, Quest for Glory, Space Quest, Police Quest, although we can probably leave that one off the table, Leisure Suit Larry, and most of these series haven't really gotten any attention. There was one King's Quest game somewhat recently. I don't even think it was that recent. It was probably like 8 or 10 years ago that was made. I know that Jane Jensen with her new studio Pinkerton Road was able to do a Gabriel Knight remaster, but I believe Activision still actually owns the rights to the Gabriel Knight series. Sierra was purchased in a deal that went really, really bad for them by a bunch of scammers called CUC International. Later they were purchased by Vivendi, then they were bought by Activision. Activision hasn't done a whole lot with anything that they bought from them, I don't think. And the thing about Sierra is that most of the developers that created these iconic series are still out there grinding. Like, my favorite of them, the Quest for Glory series, the Coles are still out making video games. They made a game called Hero U, which is very much in the vein of Quest for Glory, but they couldn't call it that because they'd get sued. The two guys from Andromeda have a somewhat troubled Kickstarter where they're making a game called Space Venture instead of Space Quest. Yeah, so these developers are still out here, still seemingly wanting to do something with the series that they created and that they worked so hard with over many years, but have not been able to, with the rights just sort of locked up at Activision. So I would really love if Xbox and Microsoft were to sort of let those IPs out to play and let the original developers have a hand in creating them for a new audience of players. So I guess that's where I'm going to leave this video. From a business consumer sense, I am slightly troubled by this news, but as a Xbox player and PC player, I'm excited to possibly have some new awesome games to play on Game Pass, and hopefully have a bunch of series that haven't gotten to see the light of day make a comeback. Let me know what you think about this recent news about Xbox buying Activision Blizzard in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Why don't you stick around and watch another one of my videos that you can find linked right here. This news did actually make me pick up an old script I was working on for one of my favorite Sierra games, so you can look forward to that in the near future.